Working back today. There we go. Gotta throw on the trusty straps. Grip's not gonna be able to handle more weight. Hey, Jazz. I'm assuming that's short for Jasmine. Welcome to my live stream. YouTube guys, thank you for joining me today. We got YouTube and TikTok going. Today's a back day. See if I can move this so we don't got people in the background. It's kind of hard right now. Doing my best not to get too many people into my phone. I don't want to accidentally end up on a Joey Swole video. All right. So this right here is a T-bar row. Probably one of the best type of T-bar rows you can get. Nice little chest support. Very good stability, very good bracing. Ideal for really working that back. Oh, that got the heart rate up right there. So we got 5 plates on this. 90, 180. This is about 225 pounds that we're rowing right now. And I'm doing a wide grip. The only thing I wish that this T-bar row had is we've got 2 grip variations here. One that's a little bit more angled, so you can have your wrist tilted at an angle if you want. And you have the straight grip that's nice and wide, which you guys can see very clearly in the video. But some of the nicer T-bar rows, you'll see they have grips that have multiple different angles all the way down to even a close grip. Whereas this one just has the 2 angles. which is fine. I get what I want out of it. But I would like the options if they were available. I gotta hit one more set of these. The nice thing about doing rows, they work your traps too. They're really good for that back thickness, so if you're trying to bring out more thickness in your back, don't skip out on your rows. If you're trying to have nice and juicy traps, don't skip out on those rows, man. So my goal is to compete again in probably a year. Step back on the stage, try and walk on the stage with like an extra 30 pounds on my body. Man, I'm struggling. My heart rate is still really high. That was a tough set. All right. There we go. That's a better angle. I almost didn't do a live stream today. I was feeling a little bit tired. I haven't done live streams in like 2 weeks just because I've been exhausted. Glad we're doing it though. It's like a little extra measure of accountability having to watch. So every single set I really do have to push myself. And if you guys haven't yet on TikTok, please, I'm running YouTube lives as well. Go over to the YouTube. It's in the bio. Click on it, subscribe. Donald, so I competed last year, last October, at 200 pounds flat for classic physique. I'm 6'2", so my weight cap is 232, and I'd like to compete as close to that cap as I can get, which if I take this year off and I take most of next year off, I might be able to get kind of close. But I'd be happy if I can walk on that stage with an extra 10 pounds, to be entirely honest. Ashley, good to see you. Thanks for joining me today. So yeah, I got a lot of work in store for me. I'd be happy at 215. I'd be really happy if I was closer to the weight cap at like between like 220 and 230. And to give you guys reference, right now I weigh about 265 at 6'2". So pretty juicy, pretty beefy. All right, we gotta hit this set real quick. I'll reply to the comments in a minute. There we go. Ashley, I hope you're having a great morning too. Thank you. Really appreciate you. All right, we're about to pack up here. Whew. That one made me a little bit lightheaded. My heart rate got up into the 130s. Miss Sheila, thank you. Or is that Shayla? Ooh. I might have to take a full 5-minute breaks on that. Sheila. Okay, got it. Thank you for joining my live. I might have taken too much pre-workout today. I'm getting like that caffeine, lightheadedness going on. Well, thank you, Brad. Ashley, I'm really happy it's getting warm out and the sun's actually out. So I live in Michigan. It's cloudy like 70% of the year. So seeing the sun out is nice. All right, time to pack this up. We got some other stuff to do. Yeah. Back day is always a challenging day. There's a lot of muscles in your back. So it can be time consuming, definitely rough on the heart rate. So what we're gonna do next is a lat pull down variation. I don't think I'll need my straps for now. We'll see. We'll see how my grip is holding up on these, on the next like 2 movements. All right. There we go. Some of y'all come in here with the most horrible questions. I'm not going to respond to that. Trying to decide. All right, we'll do cables. The gym is busier than it normally is at this time, so I'm trying to find a way to position myself and not in everybody's way. Let's see. My ideal handle right there. That's right, Ashley. Got to get people in the gym. I finally got my mom in. Ram, what age did my beard start to fill in? I really started pushing growing it out around like 26, 27 years old. So, yeah, I'd say about like 26 is when it really started to fill in. Prior to that, I had a goatee, and it wasn't very full. It wasn't this dark, but I've had a goatee since I got out of the Marine Corps in 2014. I was 24 when I got out, grew out the goatee, had that till about 26. So it took a while. I still have a bald patch right here, but there's not much I can do about that. I just grow the hair out long enough to where it's not as noticeable. Mark, thanks for the follow, buddy. Those of you on TikTok, if you haven't yet, I do run YouTube lives with my TikTok lives, and since TikTok is probably not going to be here for too much longer, I would recommend that those of you who do live in the United States and use TikTok, please go check out the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. That way you can keep up with all the content. Castor oil on the bald patch. I've heard that before. Never tried it. I'll have to give it a try. I do use a lot of different beard oils just to keep it, conditioned and whatnot. So I don't see that being any problem. I can just add one more oil to the list. Jeez. I'm not ready to do this set. I'm already tired. I want to go to bed. All right. We'll give this a try, see how it feels.
All right.
Nice and heavy. 220 pounds, lat pull down. And we're doing a neutral grip pull down. Nine, 10. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. You're still in traffic trying to get to work and ready for bed yourself. I feel that. I took my son to school and I was like, everything today was unusual when it comes to traffic, when it comes to like just dealing with people on the roads. Like, usually when I'm going from my son's school to the gym, I can get to the gym in like 15, 20 minutes. 25 minutes usually is like on the upper end of the limit. Today it took me like 35 minutes going 0 to 5 miles an hour. Oh yeah, you're in Atlanta. Screw that. Every time I drive through Atlanta, I try to time it so that I'm in like one of those little windows where there's either everybody's at work already or I'm like way early before anybody's even going to work. Yeah, I can't stand driving through Atlanta. I avoid it if I can. I haven't been down south in a long time. You regret moving there? I feel the same way about Ann Arbor, which is where I live right now. But I regret moving here just because I can't stand the fact that it's a college town. But my baby's mama lives here, so we make it happen. We live south of Atlanta, but work in Atlanta. Well, you gotta go where the work is. Yeah, I'll let you know, Ashley. I was supposed to be driving sort of south this weekend, but I might have to cancel because I've been going through a lot of stuff. Yeah, you're only there because of your kid's father. Yeah, you got to do what's best for the kids, you know. It sucks, but we do what we got to do. The joys of single parent life. One day, your kids are going to thank you for the sacrifices that you made. And that's something that we all need to remember. Life isn't just about us, it's about the people around us too. And it's hard to remember that. We, as humans, have a tendency to be very egocentric in our thought processes. TikTok's telling me some of the comments are censored. What are you guys saying? Come on now. Let's keep it clean. All right. Next set. Almost a full stack here. I think for my final set, I'll try to do the entire stack, see how it goes. I can do this. Let's get it. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not too bad. Thank you, Frank. Ashley, that's right. Kids grow up fast. I just had an old video on my Facebook pop up of my son back when he was like 2 years old. He's 11 now. At 2 years old, he had discovered what a spray bottle was. We had a little bottle filled with water. And he kept pointing the sprayer at his face and spraying himself. And every time he'd be shocked when water would hit his face. So he'd like spray himself and then jerk back. It's so cute. Now he's just a pain in the butt. Your oldest just turned 14, geez. They're going to be getting a license soon. That's wild. Yep, gotta love those Facebook memories. Some of them kind of suck, but you know. Every now and then it's really nice to see. Those of you who haven't yet on TikTok, I do run YouTube lives every single day. Well, not every day, but regularly. And TikTok may be getting banned very soon. So please go subscribe to the YouTube. Matthew, I am 6'2". Good morning, Michelle. Good to see you. Weight, last time I measured was like 2 weeks ago. I'm around like 265 pounds. I would say this week, probably closer to like 270. Like, I'm a big boy. The video camera, I don't know what I'm doing with cameras, man. So whatever angles you guys get is what you get, you know. I'm not good at trying to show my best angles here. So frequently people, they see me on video and they're like, there's no way you're that big. And then they see me in person, they're like, oh wow, you're a lot bigger than we thought. It is what it is. Ashley, you're tall too at 5'1". I'm like a full foot and 1 inch taller. It's crazy. Sometimes being tall is fun. Sometimes it's not so fun. Like when I'm walking through a grocery store and I'll be shopping and some shorter person will come up to me and be like, hey, I need your help to get something. Like, you gonna pay me to do that work for you? Reach up on that shelf for you? Just kidding. I always help whenever somebody asks. I should take more advantage of my height though. Well, get yourself a stepping stool, Ashley. Man, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this set. I know I need to though. You have one and you still can't reach. Oh my gosh. That's funny. All the new people that have joined TikTok Live, TikTok will be getting banned in probably about 9 months. So if you want to keep up with me and my content, go check out the YouTube channel. It is in my bio. All right, guys, we are going to max out the lat pull down. I'm doing a neutral grip lat pull down. YouTube link in the profile, that's right. Yeah, we're gonna see how many reps I can hit with a maxed out machine. What is it maxed out? It says it's 300 pounds. I'm not too convinced. That seems like a lot to me. But we're about to find out. Let's get it. I'm not using my inhaler today either, so lung function might be a little bit less than normal. Here we go. Time to get it. 300-pound lat pull down. 3, 4, 5. Oh, geez, there we go. We reached failure. Now we're gonna do some quarter reps. Oh, jeez. Oh, that burns. I'll probably be feeling that one tomorrow. Thank you, Michelle. Ronnie, thanks for the follow, buddy. Oh, we got some good pumps going today, though. It made me a little bit lightheaded. So, for the sake of the YouTube channel, give you guys a little bit of information. So on YouTube, every single one of my live streams gets posted after I'm done live streaming. Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit. So I try to give enough knowledge to really make sure that somebody benefits out of these live streams. It's not just me working out and that's it. Like, give some productive information because it will be posted and I want people to glean something out of it. So when it comes to building muscle, if you're not putting the effort in, you're not gonna build very much muscle. You might build a little bit, especially if you're a beginner. Beginners always build muscle. That's just the way it is. As soon as you start moving and doing resistance training, you're gonna build as a beginner. But as an adapted lifter who's been doing it for longer than a couple years, you gotta really push yourself. So a core concept to keep in mind based on the current literature that we have available to us is that you always push either close to failure, like within 1 to 3 reps of failure, We would refer to that as reps in reserve. Or you push to failure. So all the way till your muscles can't pull that weight anymore, or can't push that weight anymore. And that's gonna apply enough stimulus on your muscles to grow. Ab followed me. Okay, thank you, Ab, for following. Again, guys, if you wanna keep up with my content, YouTube is still gonna be here after TikTok gets banned. So please go check out the YouTube channel. Volume, a lot of you guys overthink the volume. You don't need to be doing a ton of volume to grow muscle. So a good rule of thumb for volume is, pick 2 or 3 exercises per muscle group that you want to grow on for each day, right? So today's a back day. I'm going to have, let's see, I did a row, a lat pull down, and then I'll probably do a pullover variation. That'll be my 3 exercises for back today, specifically lat biased. And when you're doing that, you want to do around like 2 working sets. So your working sets are the sets that you take to failure. Those are the sets that matter the most. So, 1 to 2 working sets to failure. If you're working out that muscle group twice a week, that'll put you at around between 6 and 12 working sets per week. You don't need to go above 20. So when we look at ideal volume based on the literature, it's basically like 6 to 20 working sets is ideal for muscle growth. And when it comes to rep ranges, yeah, you could do anywhere between like 5 reps to like 30 reps to grow. But why do 30 reps if you can get similar results at 5 reps to failure? Anthony, thanks for the follow, buddy. Ashley, thank you for joining me today. It was great to see you. You also have a great day. Thank you. So for everybody who does go and rewatch the YouTube later, keep that in mind. If you're trying to grow muscle, you've got to be getting close to failure. And keeping the volume lower is going to in general be better. Plus it'll be better for recovery. It's more efficient, better for recovery. You'll be able to do more workouts just because you're keeping your volume low. You're going to have more general energy throughout the day. So don't be sitting there doing 40 or 50 working sets per muscle group per week. That's some old school bodybuilding. We know it's not necessary now. And of course, we got to focus on nutrition and focus on sleep. Well, I hit my fail set here. I got to do some pullovers. And then after this, I'll do some triceps. So, and thankfully, the cable that I want is available. Try and set up the phone. Don't want to get people into the video if I can help it. I always try to be respectful of the privacy of the people in the gym. Just because I have a right to film, because it's not in the gym policy not to film, does not mean that I should just be rude about it and film everybody. So I do my best to be conscientious of the people around me, because that's the right thing to do. My parents, when I was growing up, they used to teach me every day that I would hear it. Think about the preciousness of others. At the time, I didn't think much of it. I was like, why should I do that? People treat me poorly. Why should I treat them any better? Now, as I get older, as long as somebody's not trying to take my life, whatever, Every now and then I'll get mad. I'll get mad at people. But in general, I try to keep my concept of putting myself in their shoes and thinking, if I was in their shoes, would I appreciate this? So I think about their needs in perspective to mine. And most people, they don't want to be on a camera, you know? So just showing some general respect. All right, we're about to hit these pullovers. I think pullovers are a wonderful exercise for the lats. The only downside to pullovers is it's hard to progressively overload them due to a lack of stability. So what I always do with my pullovers, love from India, G9 India, thank you, thank you. Much love right back at you. Paul, excellent viewpoint, thank you, Paul. So with the pullovers, what I like to do is I like to program them at the end of my workout. So that way I'm already pre-fatigued and I'm just kind of finishing off whatever's left over in my lats. So stability becomes a lesser factor due to the fact that I'm already tired. I'm not going to be able to overload the pullovers as effectively. So it's more or less like a burnout. So here we go. Let me adjust this camera real quick so you guys can get a better view. I might have to move it a little more. It's the downside to this is it takes up a lot of space. There we go. All right, get myself in the camera here. There we go. So I always start hinged at the hips, and then as I pull, I stand up into it. And that one, that will light you up. Kim, yes, the lats. It's back day today. Got to get it going. Jay Smith, good to see you, buddy. Oh, I'm feeling pretty good today. Got a nice little pump going. Let's try to get these lats on in the screen. The goal is to fly, to have those wings. Thank you, Jay. You gotta grow. So I'm using a Vulcan strap. This is beautiful, this strap. So you got two different grips, two different holes that you can slide your wrists into. And the beauty of these is you don't have to worry about grip because you can just put them right up against your wrists like that. When you take grip out as a factor, you can get so much more efficient exercises. Thank you, Jay. G9. Look like a real man. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to be. Got the beard, trying to grow the muscles a little bit bigger, you know. Typical man stuff, right? It's a lot of work. Let me see if I can position this a little better. All right. There we go. I think that's a slightly better position for the camera. We're gonna increase this weight again. All right, here we go. So again, hinge at the hips. We're gonna get those arms nice and high. And then stand into it. And what's beautiful about this attachment is I can actually bring my hands to and even past my hips. Whereas if you guys use a bar, you're gonna be limited. So you can only get the bar to your hips. And that's as far as you're gonna get it. So the straps are really convenient because now I can get my hands from here to here, which would be like a bar, and then back to here. So if you think about how the lats are structured, where they, attach to the upper portion of your spine. They come straight out and they insert into your upper arm. So you have lat attachment in the spine, insert into upper arm, and then you have V taper down. If you can go and get a deeper contraction, meaning your arm comes farther back, you're gonna contract the lats a little bit more effectively. And it should translate to, like that extra 1 or 2% stimulus on the muscle. So extra 1 or 2% growth over time. Rex, thanks for the follow, buddy. Jay, I appreciate you, buddy. I've missed seeing you. I do apologize to everybody who does like to watch my live streams, because I have been kind of MIA for a while now. I'm doing my best to kind of get back into it. It's hard. I've been in a mental funk and had a lot going on. So at this point, I live stream when I can, when I feel up to it. Hey, being busy is good, Jay. It's a good thing. Sometimes I wished I was busier just so I would have less time to be in my thoughts. All right, we're gonna hit this set. Again, hinge at the hips. Arms nice and high, and stand into it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, some quarter reps because we're failing. Oh, that hurts. Thank you, Jay. Oh man, I hit shoulders yesterday and I was feeling a little bit weaker than normal in the shoulders. I got to where I was shoulder pressing the 100-pound dumbbells. And I'm gonna say 2 weeks ago, I shoulder pressed the 120s. So, wasn't feeling too good about that. But it was weird because what was yesterday? Yesterday was a chest day. And I was pressing way more weight than I usually press for my chest. So, a little bit less shoulder strength, a little bit more of an increase in strength on the chest. It is how it is, I guess. Jay, I've definitely not been getting enough sleep. Abdulio, thank you for joining us today. Yeah, my sleep's been terrible. I've been very stressed out. I'm working through a lot of life stressors. And it's a good thing, but it sucks at the same time, you know? Oh well. I gotta hit one more set of these and then I'll be done on this. And I'll be able to go to triceps. So I like to pair my triceps on my back day. And the reason why I like to pair them on back day is because when you think about it, almost all pulling movements, when you have that elbow flexion, your biceps are actually aiding in the movement. So they're pre-fatiguing the entire back workout. So I don't like to pair biceps with back because I like to work muscles from their freshest point to their most fatigued point. And in my opinion, it makes more sense to instead do triceps, which do minimal activation during a back day, over biceps, which are activated pretty much your entire back day. So that way you can put a lot more effort into the muscle group that you're trying to work. So that's how my brain functions. Feels right, sounds right. Prior to this thought process, I adopted this about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Prior to that, I would do like a basic bro split or, PPL. Every now and then I would just change things up entirely. And sometimes I would do like full body days, and it was kind of ridiculous and sad and pathetic. Now we got things dialed in. I feel a lot better. I'm a lot stronger. I'm a lot bigger. Yep, today is back in triceps. That's correct, Aaron. Thank you for joining me today. All right, so we got one more lat pullover, and then after this pullover, we're gonna do some tricep extension. Try and keep myself out of the way here. I'll move. I keep getting in people's way, and I don't like that. This'll work. Come on. Starting to fail already. We'll hit those quarters. Come on. Now that's failure right there. Yeah, chest day is chest and bicep. And every now and then on my chest day, I'll do like medial deltoid work. I do try to avoid front delts on the chest day, because when you think about it, those pressing movements, your chest inserts into your upper arm, and of course that front delt goes right across that. So chest kind of runs underneath the front delt, insertion point right up in here, front delt straps right through here. So every time you do a pressing movement, your front delt is working too. So I'll avoid working the front delt, but I will work the side delts a little bit. So I'll do like some laterals on a chest day. Thanks for the follow. Rear delts, I don't put a ton of emphasis on, because your rear delts will be active during lat pull downs, lat pullovers, and rows. But every now and then, if I'm feeling up to it on a leg day, I'll do like my front delts and rear delts. And with the rear delts, I'll do like a cable side, like an angled pull across with the cables to hit those rear delts. Or I'll hit the pec deck machine. It's basically, a pec fly, but I'll hit it as a reverse fly. So I'm pulling back and squeezing those rear delts. Those are basically the only 2 rear delt exercises I do. And my rear delts aren't too bad. You can see them pretty clearly from the side. That's right here. So I don't feel too bad about my rear delts. That was when I did my last bodybuilding show. The judges basically told me I needed to chill out on my shoulders a bit, because my shoulders dominate like everything. Yeah, Aaron, give it a try for sure. I mean, the worst thing that happens is you decide you don't like it. So, and at the end of the day, results come from consistency. So if you like what you're doing, you're more likely to be consistent. Therefore, you're going to have good results. If you don't like it, it's not that big of a deal. People tend to overthink things, and then they'll do a bunch of exercises that really or like splits that really suck, and they end up really hating it, and they're just doing it because they're trying to get the most optimal gains. But ultimately, yes, there are more optimal ways to do things, but the most optimal thing is consistency. If you enjoy it, you're more likely to be consistent. So yeah, let me know what you think though, for sure. Sorry for the drawn out explanations. There's not a ton of blood flow up here right now. All the blood flow is in my back, and yeah, the joys of exercise. And I'm only kind of smart to begin with. It's, you know, smart is my last name, so not doing a good job living up to it right now. Technically you are hitting them 2 days in a row, but because of the contractile differences between using the biceps as a supporting exercise for a movement versus isolating the biceps, that 24 hours of recovery time should be enough. Again, some of that is a variable dependent on a person's nutrition and rest, because recovery factors are different for everybody, which is another reason why, my advice is try it out and see how you feel about it. It shouldn't be a huge deal though, because you're not isolating the biceps in your back movements. It's just a supporting muscle. So it does get a contraction, but it's not getting the majority of the force that's going towards your back. So, hypothetically speaking, should be fine to do it the next day and actually isolate it. I do know some people that train their arms totally separate. And I mean, as long as you're lifting heavy and pushing yourself, you should still see results. Tips on lateral raise. Yes. There's a lot of different things you can do for lateral raises. So if you want to isolate your traps or get your traps out of the movement. So when you take a look at me head on, if I put my arm straight out to the side, you can see once I get to about here, my traps start to contract. But if I come forward, immediately the stress comes out of my traps. So my arms are a little bit forward of my body. I'm not going straight forward like this, but we're probably at about, I would say it's like a 45-degree angle in front of my body. And that'll pull the traps out of the movement. They're still gonna be sort of active because they stabilize your shoulder blades and your shoulder joint, but your traps will not be as active as you're used to. Another thing that you can do is what's called a chest supported Y raise, where you put the bench at an incline, you lay on it with your chest, and then you do your raises like that. And that can really help to isolate things too. Thank you, Jay. When it comes to other kinds of lateral raise movements, you can do some where you're leaning to the side, like you hold on to something with your opposite hand, you lean to the side. So you can see that there's not much length, because lengthening the shoulder would be if I lean the other way and let my arm hang like this, right? So that's more length to the shoulder. Leaning this way, less length, but this way we can focus on the contraction. So you could do lateral raises. And again, you still want to have your arm a little bit forward of your body to try and pull the trap out, but focus on the contractile portion, and then do a set where you're leaning, where you focus on the stretch portion. So there's a lot of different variables that you can apply. The shoulders tend to react very well to the stretch portion of a lift. So I'm a very big fan of doing more where you're leaned this way and getting that deep stretch than I am of focusing on the contraction. The contraction will feel good and help with mind-muscle connection. The stretch will help to get more shoulder hypertrophy based on the current literature. I do the cable in front. I think the cable behind makes it a little bit harder to actually focus on having your arm in front of you and have your traps get pulled out of the movement. So when I have the cable in front of me, it's a lot easier to focus on really keeping my arm where I want it to be positioned in order to keep just my deltoid in the movement. These are good questions, thank you. We're about to hit some triceps while we're here. Cables, dumbbells, or both. Honestly, I kind of go based on how I feel. The dumbbells make me feel really good because I can do very heavy dumbbells. But again, you got to keep in mind with the dumbbells, peak tension is going to be parallel. And the lower you go, your tension profile actually decreases because gravity pulls you straight down. So as you start to get more in line with the flow of gravity and with joint alignment, it gets easier. Whereas the cables are going to be tension consistently through the movement. And the way that I like to set my cables up is I'll put it to where the cable is like right at about like knee level, so that when I'm pulling on it, and I lean a little bit to try and get to where that pull doesn't allow for the cable, like you don't want the cable angle to be shifting like this as you pull. So like when you think about it, if I pull up like this, a lot of times the cable angle will change as you pull on it. You want to try and keep that angle consistently in line with the direction of pull you want against your shoulder. So you may have to move the cable a little bit just to get that optimized. Some of you may need it a little bit higher, some of you may need it a little bit lower, but just think you want that line of pull to stay consistent in a straight line, opposing the direction that your shoulder is trying to contract. Jeff, thank you. Sebastian, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for the gifts. All right, we're gonna hit some triceps. I've been saying that for like 5 minutes now. You guys got me talking. All right, now with triceps, I do bend over, but you gotta think, I'm pulling my arms in line with my spine. So if I was to stand closer to the cable, the angle of my arms and the angle of force against my triceps is still gonna stay the same. So this is a nice tricep push down variation. I like the extra long handles because I can bring my hands comfortably to my sides. Whereas with like the ropes, they may not be long enough. And also you have to use your grip too, which can be a limiting factor. And those tricep ropes, you may not be able to get your hands all the way to your sides like this. Simple and sweet. For those of you wondering, I'm using Vulcan straps. They're wonderful. I think it's probably one of my favorite pieces of gym equipment that I carry with me everywhere. Partial reps with lateral raises can be very beneficial. I do my partials at the end of my exercise because I like to fail at full range of motion first. We know there's a lot of research behind pushing the muscles to failure for better muscle growth. So I do my best to fail at that full range. And then once I get to where I can't do the full range of motion anymore, I'll hit some partials and just totally just trash the muscle. And I think that works wonderful. But I have a buddy of mine where he's been doing an experiment where his entire workout is just partial reps. And he's claiming that he's noticing some gains from it. So I don't know, man. Everybody's got their preference. I'm a big fan of mobility though. So like when you're doing a full range of motion with your movement, you're still applying a stimulus of mobility on your body. So we do get into more of the hypothetical realm of bodybuilding where it's like, do these little tiny things make a big difference or not? And it's really hard to say. Man, I'm tired. We're gonna bump this weight up. Let's do 120. Yeah. And my goal, every time I do any form of tricep extension, is to make sure that the cable is aligned with my upper arm. And my upper arm, I want to keep aligned to my spine unless I'm trying to isolate different heads of the tricep. So when you think about tricep activation, when you're pulling straight back, you're essentially hitting all three heads of the tricep almost equally. But you can isolate some of the heads by shoulder flexion. So once we bring our arms out in front of us, that's when we can start to hit some other heads of the tricep. And if you're trying to bring stuff out, that's where those isolation techniques can come in handy. In my case, I've got a fairly well-developed general structure, so I'm not trying to isolate a whole bunch. I'm just trying to get the work in, and that's it. So I tend to focus more on just regular tricep extensions. All right, 120 pounds again. Let's see if we can hit a few more reps. And for those of you that think tricep kickbacks are good with the dumbbells, just do them on the cables, because this movement right here is the exact same thing as a dumbbell kickback, but it's better because the cable is aligned to my upper arm, which means I have constant tension pulling that way. And when I bring it back here, I don't have more stress on my joints. Come on. TikTok is making me do some stupid verification stuff. All right, so when you think about it, dumbbell kickback, same exact angle going back here, except for that stress on the joints is not as optimal as a cable. Whereas with a cable, I can stand into it, have the cable aligned with my upper arm for the entire movement, which means I'm gonna maintain a much higher stress point through the movement, but it's also aligned to my joint, so it's not damaging to the joint structure. Anybody that thinks that doing a dumbbell kickback is superior to a cable kickback or a cable tricep extension, they don't know what they're talking about. Because all you guys gotta do is look at my alignment when I'm doing this movement. The only difference is I'm standing a little more upright, but my arm stays in the same range of movement as it would if I did a dumbbell kickback. That one bothers me so much. I've had so many people try to argue and be like, oh, I got so much muscle from doing dumbbell tricep kickbacks. And I'm like, you got so much muscle because you never worked out before. Go do the cables. It's the same exact thing, except better. All right, here we go. 8, 9. That's failure right there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I got to where like I was trying to lock out and I couldn't lock out the muscle. We're gonna increase it though because it felt good. Shoot for 140. This will be probably my last set before I turn off the live stream. I've been turning off these live streams before I do cardio anyways, because cardio's boring. And I don't want to make you guys suffer through my cardio. I'm beat up today. All right, this is gonna be my last set. 140 pounds, tricep extension, Then I'll turn off the live stream. We'll go from there. It will be posted onto YouTube, so anybody that wants to catch up, see what I did today, go check out the YouTube channel because it will be posting. It usually takes a few hours for it to post afterwards, but it will be posting at some point today. Here we go. Oh, come on. I gotta get to 10, guys. We'll take those cheat reps. Come on. Okay. Now for some partials. That's it. Thank you all for joining me today. I really appreciate all of you. If you haven't yet, go check out the YouTube channel, give it a subscribe. This will be posted onto YouTube later tonight. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day, guys.